Hello class, today we're on 5.7, division of rational functions. So before we get into the division of rational functions, I just want you guys to recall the difference of squares, and that is this. If we have two squares being subtracted from one another, such as a squared minus b squared, then the factorization of that is a plus b times a minus b. So let's keep that in mind. You'll see how it falls, or how it comes into play when we deal with this. But division of rational functions. So here are the steps. Step one, we need to multiply the first rational expression by the reciprocal of the second rational expression. So remember what a reciprocal is. Whatever's on bottom becomes on top, and whatever's on top becomes on bottom. This comes back to the idea that, remember, dividing by something is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. So we're going to be multiplying by the second rational expression's reciprocal. After that, we're going to factor all the polynomials, and then we're going to cancel all like factors, and then we're going to multiply together. But when we multiply together, we're not actually going to multiply the factors together. We're just going to kind of put them on to one division bar, and you'll see what I mean. You can multiply them together if you like, but I'm not going to ask that of y'all today. So here we have x squared minus 2x minus 3 over x squared minus 4 divided by x squared minus 5 plus 6 divided by x squared plus 6x plus 8. So it's a lot of division going on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the second function, or the second expression, and we're going to find the reciprocal of it, and we're going to multiply it by the first one. Now the first one stays the exact same. We don't do anything with the first one, so we can go ahead and just rewrite it. X squared minus 2x minus 3 over x squared minus 4. And we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So what's on bottom is going to be on top, and what's on top is going to be on bottom. So we're going to have x squared plus 6x plus 8 over x squared minus 5x plus 6. So now what we're going to do is we're going to factor each one of these polynomials. That's step 2. For these three, we want to find, since they're trinomials, we want to think, okay, what two numbers add up to the middle number but multiply to the last number? This on the bottom left you see is the difference of squares. Just like up here, we have a square being subtracted from another square. So x squared is a square and 4 is a square. So we're going to factor that according to the difference of squares. But we'll talk about it when we get there. So here, what two numbers add to -2 but multiply to -3? Well, that's going to be, let's see, -3 and +1. So we're going to write this as x minus 3, x plus 1. And again, it doesn't matter which one you put first or which one you put second. And then we have this difference of squares down here, so we're just going to follow the rules of the difference of squares. So we're going to it's the square root of each, and we add one and we subtract one. So this is going to be x plus 2 times x minus 2, right? The square root of x squared is just x. The square root of 4 is 2, so we just added them and then subtracted them. And then times, we need to find the factorization of these two. So two numbers that add to 6 multiply to 8, that's going to be 4 and 2. So x plus 4, x plus 2. And then this bottom right, this bottom right adds to -5 but multiplies, let's see, is this? Multiplies to 6. So that's going to be -3 and -2, because -3 minus 2 is -5, -3 times -2 is +6. So now we have done step 2. We factored all the polynomials, and now what we need to do is we need to cancel like factors. So remember, if we have factors on top and we have the same factor on bottom, they cancel. So here we have an x minus 3 and an x minus 3. And then on bottom we have an x minus 2, or x plus 2, and on top we have an x plus 2, so those cancel. So our answer here is just going to be x plus 1 times x plus 4 over x minus 2 times x minus 2. Now notice these don't cancel because one's not on top and one's not on bottom. They need to be on top and bottom for them to cancel. So this is our answer. You can multiply these together on top and multiply them together on bottom if you would like, but I'm not going to necessarily ask that of you today. I know we know how to multiply these together. Okay, now take a look at this one. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to take the reciprocal of the second one. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it. Remember, the first we don't do anything with. So we have x squared plus 7x plus 10 over x squared minus 3x minus 4. And then times, because remember, we want to flip it and then flip the second one and then multiply instead of divide. So it's going to be x squared plus 7x plus 6 over x squared plus 8x plus 15. So now it's time to factor these. Top left, two numbers that add to 7 multiply to 10. Well, that's just going to be, let's see here, x plus 2 and x plus 5 divided by this one down here. Let's see, adds to negative 3, multiplies to negative 4. That would be negative 4 and positive 1. And then here, adds to 7, multiplies to 6. That would be 6 and 1, right? 6 plus 1 is 7. 6 times 1 is 6. So we have x plus 1, x plus 6. And then finally down here, adds to 8, multiplies to 15. That's going to be 5 and 3. So x plus 5, x plus 3. And then now we can cancel like terms. So remember, they have to be both on top and bottom. So here's an x plus 5, here's an x plus 5. Here's an x plus 1, here's an x plus 1, and it looks like that's all we can cancel out on this one. So our answer here is going to be x plus 2 times x plus 6 divided by x minus 4 times x plus 3. And that's it. And again, you can multiply these together if you like, but I'm not going to ask you guys to do that just yet. I want to focus more on this other process. So let's go over a couple more examples here. Okay, so again, we're going to want to find the reciprocal of the second one, and we're going to multiply. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it. Times the reciprocal and now it's time to factor these. So, two numbers that add to negative 2 and multiply to negative 24, that would be negative 6 and positive 4. So, x minus 6, x plus 4, you can verify. If we add them together, we get negative 2. If we multiply them together, we get negative 24. And then this one, add to 4, multiply to 3, well, that's just going to be 3 and 1. Times, let's see, adds to 2, multiplies to negative 3, that's going to be 3 and negative 1. And then here, finally, this is one of those difference of squares. We have an x squared, which is a perfect square, minus 16, which is a perfect square. So we're just going to take their square roots, add them, and subtract them. And that's what the difference of squares says to do. So x plus 4, x minus 4. Notice that the square root of x squared is x, square root of 16 is 4. Okay, so now we can cancel. So we have an x plus 4 and x plus 4. We have an x plus 3 and x plus 3, and it looks like that's all we can cancel. Notice that this is x plus 1 and this is x minus 1. Those are two different factors, so we can't cancel those out. So x minus 6 times x minus 1 over x plus 1, x minus 4. Okay. And then lastly, this one. So again, we're going to want to take the reciprocal of the second one and multiply. So I'll go ahead and rewrite it. And see, the bottom is going to be on top now, so x squared plus 7x plus 12. And then the top is going to now be on bottom, so x squared plus 5x minus 6. Okay, let's see, so now it's time to factor. All right, two numbers that add to 11 multiply to 30, that'd be 5 and 6. So x plus 5, x plus 6. And then add to 1. Remember, there's a little invisible 1 right here. And then multiplies to negative 6. That would be 3 and negative 2, because 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 times negative 2 is 6. So x plus 3, x minus 2, times, let's see here, we have to add to 7, multiply to 12, that's going to be 3 and 4. X plus 3, x plus 4. And then on the bottom, add to 5, multiply to negative 6. That's going to be 6 and negative 1, right? 6 minus 1 is 5. 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. So we're going to have x plus 6, x minus 1. And now it's time to cancel factors. So we have an x plus 6 and x plus 6. We have an x plus 3 and an x plus 3. That looks to me that's all that you can cancel. So we're going to have x plus 5 times x plus 4 over x minus 2 times x minus 1. And that is the answer. So that's all I have for y'all today. Hopefully this helped, and let me know if you have any questions. Have a good day. Bye.